Yeah, it's me, Reese. As you can tell, Jen's laying on me. Say hi, baby. She's not feeling too well, but I think part of it has to do with we just got done watching. Can you put me back away from the fan? We just got done watching DirtWhiteBoi67's a couple of different videos, and I have to say, there was a time in my life where I ID'd as a butch lesbian, and the reasoning for that was because at that time, considering, keep in mind, this was back in the 90s, and I like squishing her head every now and then. Back in the 90s, I grew up in Fresno, California. Fresno used to be an itty bitty little teeny tiny town on the California map that, if you blinked, you passed by it. Back then, it was still sort of small. I didn't know what transgender was. I did not know what it meant to be a transsexual, I knew what a crossdresser was. I knew what gay was. I knew what a lesbian was. If I would have known what it meant to be transgendered or to be transsexual, I would have been able to label myself as such. I never felt like, hey, I'm a woman, I've got big tits, and I have, that stuff downstairs, and I was not really all that comfortable with it. And that can go all the way back to childhood, all the way back to being, I remember being 3 and asking my mom when my innie was going to turn into an outie, like my brother's, and trying to stand at the toilet, sitting on the toilet backwards, doing all the stuff that boys do. I had Barbies, and I helped my brother take their heads off and flush them down the toilet. Either that or I chucked them out the window. My mom hated me for that. I would play with my brother's G.I. Joes. I would climb the trees. I got electrocuted by telephone wires. I did the stupid stuff that normally kids do when they are male. And because I was unhappy in my life and myself for so long, I did a lot of self-destructive things. It wasn't until about 2002 is when I actually first came into, 2001 is when I had my first experiences with other transgenders, other transsexuals and stuff like that. When I was living up in Michigan, thanks to Michigan Tech's QAnon Pride, and I was part of that organization, and I knew 2 women that were absolutely phenomenal, and knowing them and being a part of QAnon Pride is what helped me rediscover who I am, rediscover who I was, and really sit back and seriously think about it for a long time. Is this truly who I am? Am I just confused? Am I really, just supposed to be a butch lesbian and just, ideas as being homosexual? Or am I really a heterosexual male stuck in a really messed up body? Well, the answer is this. I've went through several thousands of counseling sessions. I've been on antidepressants, I've been on antipsychotics and everything else for, everything from cutting myself to burning myself to jumping out of windows, purposely standing in front of cars so that way they would run me over because I was that messed up. Because I felt so that bad about myself and so desperate to change my life, and I honestly felt like if I didn't do something then, if I didn't start my transition then I would die. Now, unfortunately, I had to keep putting off my transition until about 5 months ago. I'm 31 years old. I'll be 32 in June. I am the happiest I have ever been in my life. Finally coming into my own. Slowly but surely. But coming into the man that I've always been on the inside, and being able to have the physical attributes start to develop, from my voice being deeper than what it naturally was, to the body hair, to having my beard, which, if you can't tell, I shaved it off. I think I mentioned that in another video I did, like yesterday or the day before, or something like that. To being lucky enough to have a woman in my life that loves me for who I am and doesn't view me as female, and in her words, she said that she never, saw me as female. And actually, that's where she should actually talk. So that would be your cue.
I haven't. I've always viewed you, because that's who you are. You are a man. That's what you're getting, so deal.
So I'm not gonna go ahead and sink down to the same level as Dirty White Boy and Butch Basher. If you honestly feel that butch lesbians become so male-centric and so confused that they feel that they have to be trans and start testosterone and all this other stuff because there's no room to be butch anymore, then I'm sorry to tell you, but there is a large community of butch femmes everywhere around the world that are very happy with being butch or being femme and not taking testosterone and not having facial hair and not having the deep voice and all of that other stuff. I'm doing what I need to do for me. I'm not a butch lesbian. I'm a man. I'm stuck in the wrong body. I have no problem with my girl giving me hand jobs. I have no problem with my girl giving me blowjobs. I'm sorry, but I'm confident and strong enough in myself and who I am and who she is, and our own sexualities individually, to not have to say, oh well, don't touch certain areas about me, and that's also an individual thing. There are going to be some people that, well, I don't want you touching certain areas of my bodies. There will be nights when I have told Jenny, hey, I'm not feeling comfortable with this, that, and the other, and that's fine. Every relationship should have boundaries. Every relationship should have, hey, I'm not always going to feel up to XYZ, so don't expect it. Period. That should be in a heterosexual relationship, a gay sexual relationship, whatever the fuck you want to call it, polyamorous, blue, pink, purple dot, whatever.
But it goes both ways too, because there are things that I don't want done. So,
Well, yeah, exactly.
yeah, it has nothing to do with the fact that you're trans.
That has absolutely no bearing on sexuality. It's just not feeling up to certain things. Period. So, and I'm not going to speak for every other trans guy. I'm not going to speak for butch lesbians. But for me, that piece of rubber, as you so kindly dubbed it, is about as close to what my anatomy can get to as it is right now, naturally. And my personal theory is this: I'm doing what I need to do to live my life and be happy. You're not doing shit to make your life better except for bashing on people. My anatomy is changing to what it should be, to the point to where I have no problems with satisfying my woman. Absolutely none. With or without the piece of rubber. Okay? Now, if that's really your issue, then you need to go into some therapy, get on some antipsychotics or something, take an upper, do some cocaine, whatever the fuck you need to do. Just do what's gonna make you happy. I'll do me, you do you. And I'll do her. And I'll do my boyfriend too. Oh yeah, there's another thing, sorry. Yeah, I have a boyfriend. And she knows. And she knows my boyfriend. They talk. There's nothing wrong with that. Sexuality is just that. It's sex. You can't help who you love. It doesn't matter. Trans, gay, straight, whatever the fuck. Find somebody, get laid, and maybe you'll be happy, dirty boy. Drink some whiskey, and then take the cocaine. And then you'll be just like Kid Rock. You were born free, man. You were born free. Anyways, enough with the stupidity. Get an education. Stop scripting yourself. If you're gonna talk from your heart. I'm done. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.